Morning one and all. I'm at London Anglers Association, Glemsford #1 pit. Lake's about 80 years old by all accounts. Runs right next to the Suffolk Stour. Decided on the long walk down. It's about 700-yard walk along the side of the river. John Weddup, the bailiff, and his son Andrew did a brilliant job clearing the path over the weekend. Made it quite easy to walk along. I've gone quite different to my approach for #2 and #3. Fishing a lot lighter in regards to very small leads, short underarm chuck. There's a bit of deep water right close in front of me. Gone very light with the feed as well. It's all I've put in this week is some really crushed up sweet corn, some crushed up tutti frutti boilies, and I mean crushed as into almost powder with a few bits in it. Some 1.5 mil pellet. If you can hear the swans deciding to have a flap about behind me, taking off as well. Yeah, I love this place, absolutely. It's my #1 venue. Probably prefer it to Hemingford Grey. It's on its day can be very tough. The otters got in here a few years back, and they obviously had a few of the fish. There's still fish here, as I showed last year when I fished it a couple of times. I think I fished it 3 times. There's a lot of decent rudd in here. They've been topping since I put some ground bait out. I only spotted 3 spots out. Like I say, I've gone very light with my feed, and I'm just going to see what happens. The thing with ground bait on a venue like this, you can always put more in and top it up. You can't take it out if you put too much in to start off with. And a couple of times last year when I first fished it, I put too much in, so I've learned from that. My pre-op with the cancer went really well. I'm just waiting on a date now, so I thought I'd come out. I'll be here for at least a couple of nights, see how it goes. Like I say, absolutely love this place. I'll take you for a walk round in a bit, and rods are out. I'll get back to you with my rigs, show you exactly what I'm doing, if I have any success. Yeah, cheers guys, thanks for watching. As always, please don't forget to subscribe. Cheers. This is the view from my bivvy. You can see why I love this lake. It's proper off grid. All that far bank there, not a single swim over there. Used to be years ago, back in the day, back in the 80s, used to get clubs turn up here, 40+ anglers, and there was enough swims for all of them. It's probably only about 6 or 7 swims now. I'm sure with a bit of work, some more could be cut out. I hope you can see them rudd topping. I'm going to have a go for them in a bit, and I'll also take you for a walk around the other swims. Cheers guys. Well, first light, bit of a chilly one last night. You see all the swans are still asleep. A bit of a mist on the water this morning. Very quiet night. I had a couple of beeps on a rack of sweet corn, 2 real and a fake. On the maggot rig, 2 fake maggots on the hair and 2 real maggots on the hook. Didn't have a beep all night. I had quite a few indications as it was getting dark, but clearly they were just the rudd, because it was beep 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 beep, and then it'd stop and I'd check and the maggots had been pulled off the hook, which is interesting because during the day they hadn't fed on the bottom at all, and then ironically it's got light and I just had a beep on the maggot rig, and I'm going to stick on because it was just a single beep, whereas yesterday evening it was beep 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 non-stop. But I might have a change of baits today throughout the day, and then later on tonight. It's funny water this. because you know the fish are there, and they were there yesterday evening. I heard a couple come out last night during the night. I also heard a couple of carp crash out as well. Yeah, I can remember years ago, and this is like around the time the otters were starting to get in here. In one session I came and caught 23 tench, nothing over £4. The following week I came back, used exactly the same bait, and had one. That's the nature of the beast. That's fishing for you. That's why it's called fishing, not catching, I guess. Anyway, I'll update you as the day goes on. I had a few very nice rudd yesterday. Not as big as last year, but certainly up around that 8-ounce mark, so that was quite pleasant. Anyway, cheers guys. One chuck, only small at the moment, but I'm on maggots, so let's see how we go, see what happens. Oh, get out of the way, Swan, for heaven's sake. Missed that one. It's up a bit of weed in the process. Oh. That's to fish round the swan. That's a bit close. They are beautiful fish. Small at the moment, but I'll stick with the maggots for a while and then I'll have a go on the sweet corn. I had some better ones last year on the sweet corn, but about getting maggots, about getting bites at the moment. So attacking it as soon as it's hitting the water. Nothing you can strike at. Oh, that was a good fish. I don't know if you saw that. Bit of a way out from me. Like weed between me and that fish. A weed between me and the fish that are out in front of me. It does get weedy in here, but that's part of the challenge, I think. Mostly a couple of ounces or below. Let's have a go on the sweet corn. Slightly better fish on the sweet corn. Oh, that was close. That's a better fish. I'll be happy with that. Definitely. Well, that was worth waiting for. It's a little bit longer, but a bit more like it. Better than those ounce and a half fish, that's for sure. Right. So, it's either a bite of chuck on the maggot, double maggot, or cast and wait for a better fish on the sweet corn. Guess you can work out what I'm going to be doing. They're coming up, as you can see, the better fish. Saw a couple earlier on that were not long after I raked, actually. Very good fish up in that 12-ounce bracket. There we go. Not as big, but into my line, as you heard. Yeah, I'm happy catching better fish, that's for sure. Haven't we all? He says. Last year when I fished it, I managed a couple around the 12-ounce mark. I'm sure there's bigger fish about, that's for sure. You can see a much better fish. Oh, swing that in. I wouldn't do that in a match, that's for sure. Nice fish though, lovely condition. Couple of hours fishing for the rudd, varying sizes as you can see. Safe as a blank, nothing else. I'll take you for a little walk. This is the end swim. That's an island that's actually runs about 100 yards along the side of the lake. You can see there's a lot of lily pads around the side of it. Runs parallel to the river, very close, and that's obviously the open part of the lake. There's just about enough room for a bivvy, I'd say. You have to tuck it back a bit, but and then there's another swim quite close to it. A few lily pads, but you can see this line of weed further out, solid. But you've got that channel that seems to run all the way along this bank. Might take a little bit of raking, but I'm sure there'll be fish around these lily pads. Might need a channel through the lily pads. And walking along a little bit further, coming up to my swim. See my rod holder across the footpath. Not a lot of room, but enough. You can see. Rod's to one side. That's my view. Looking down the lake. I keep hearing fish round to the right.
as you would expect, out of sight. But I hear them moving all the time. And going a bit further along, electric barra. They're handy. This swim definitely needs a bit of work, but doable. As you can see, again, clear area close in. Certainly room to sit on a seat box or something and fish for the rudd. But I don't think, unless you put your bivvy up on the path. Then we go a little bit further along. There's a, it's quite overgrown, but it's lovely. I like that aspect of it. This is probably just about enough room for a bivvy. Used to be a wooden platform down there, but that's decayed over the years. That's going to take a lot of raking, a lot of lily pads, a lot of weed, a lot shallower. I think the channel that runs along finishes by the time you reach here. This is proper off-grid, isn't it? Then the next swim is the one I mentioned that I thought the swans were nested on, and they weren't. They were just sitting on. Definitely don't think you get a bivvy out on the end of this, on this little island, but you could certainly go out there. Let's take you for a walk out there. You can see the swans definitely like it here. A few floating logs in the water. Don't think they've moved for some time. A lot of lily pads around, reed beds all the way along the far bank. Fishable. Oh, you can see how clear the water is. That's about 2.5 foot there. But watch me step rather than watching the video. And then there's another swim a bit further along. Path's a bit up and down, but it's quite clear. That actually looks quite fishable because there's lily pads and cabbage weed, as you can see, but none of that horrible pond weeds and such like. You could probably sit here and fish a float if you wish to fish ledge. I mean, you could get your bivvy in here, no problem. If you wanted to fish across to the reeds, you'd probably have to rake a few of them pads out and that cabbage weed, but that's doable. But you can see there's quite a bit of room there, and that's the path that goes back down towards the river and then along to the car park. So lovely. So this is round the other side of the lake. Someone's obviously been fishing it, as you can see. It's quite well trodden down. Just get your waders in, clear a few of them reeds, but seems to be clear areas out there, that's for sure. This swim's not fished much, that's definite. This bay's not fished much. My understanding is it's between 2 and 4 foot. Bit of a mission to get here. There's a few tree branches across the pathway, as you can see. But morning all. End of the second night. I've got plenty of sleep, that's for sure. Very quiet during the night. Didn't have a single beep last night. There's fish about. Yeah, I had a few rudd and some decent ones. I had a couple of different sessions during the day on both days, and as you saw, I had a few. No tench, which was what my target was.
they're here, but what's really bizarre is this morning they're blowing up everywhere except for where I'd raked. So, to be fair, I did suss this yesterday and put rod somewhere else in amongst the weed, and found a clearish area, if that makes sense, just to my right. I found this before over here. The raking either works or it doesn't, and I think where it's not fished very often, the fish just got spooked off of that area, and I think they like the cover of the weed, to be honest with you. They're used to it. They're not used to it being raked. So Gaz is coming down today and going to jump in this swim and have a couple of nights. I think he might be a bit more successful because it might have calmed down a bit straight out in front of us where I raked. Got my date for my operation. This is coming Sunday, so I might be out of action for a couple of weeks, but I'm looking forward to coming back here. There's fish here, make no mistake, and if you want to catch a big bag of rudd, and I mean a big bag, come and have a day fishing on a pole or on a waggler for the rudd. It's literally one a chuck, and you get the 1 or 2 ounce fish on the maggot. But if you fish a sweet corn right up in the water 3 foot deep, you'll catch the better fish, and you'll catch them all day. From the first thing you get here right through the day, they're just feeding non-stop. There's so many of them in here. Seen a couple of signs of carp, more than I expected to see, because I've not always thought of this place as a carp water. Yeah, they've always been in here. There used to be a lot of bream in here. Not sure where they are. I haven't seen any signs of any, but yeah, so looking forward to getting back, definitely. Gonna try a different approach. I went through the card bait wise. I tried everything, all through the natural sweet corn, maize, maggots, worms. I tried pellet, I tried boilies, tutti frutti boilies, krill boilies, krill pellet, halibut pellet, you name it, I've tried it. The one thing I didn't try was lobworm, and I'm going to bring some lobworms with me next time I come. I think where pretty much it hasn't seen an angler for 8, 9, 10 years on a regular basis, certainly. Fish don't know what ground bait is, don't know what, I mean the rudd clearly do. They don't know what boilies and pellets are and things like that, so it's just a case of educating them, for want of a better term. So anyway, I'm starting to pack up now, last knockings, and head on home, get ready for my operation. So thanks for watching. As always, please feel free to ask anything. I don't do secrets like a lot of people. I tell it as it is, and if I say something that you pick up and it works for you, happy days. That's what this is all about. And please don't forget, if you feel under the weather at all, get yourself checked, be on the safe side. You're not wasting your time, the doctor's time, you're wasting your own time. I'm ahead of the game. Yeah, cancer's horrible. It's a horrible word, but it isn't a death sentence anymore, and especially not if you catch it early. Once again, thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Cheers, guys.